Okay, so before we do a whole lot of stuff on this note, we know this. We're doing triangle tricks, right? Agree? Okay. So we know for sure when I read the words are somehow going to have to make a triangle, so we can use these. Does that make sense? So let's read it first. Two ships leave port at the same time. So they're going to take off. Ship A travels at a bearing of north, 25 degrees towards east. So it's kind of going that direction. Does that make sense? So it's north towards east, right? At 12 knots. Well, we'll use the ruler to make it to 12 knots, okay? And then ship B travels south, 40 degrees towards the east. So one ship's heading this way, another ship's heading kind of that way. Does that make sense? So what do we do is first, let's draw port. Let's put port down there somewhere.
What is port?
Let's put P for port. This is the way they start out. So I'm going to put a little dot here. Call it P. Now, I need a compass, so I'm going to draw my little compass rose here. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at ship A. All right, let's do ship A. Ship A. Okay, I'm going to put my compass like this. So right like this. So that I've got 0 degrees here at north, right? There's my north. And I'm going to rotate 25 degrees towards the east. 10, 25, okay? So ship A is traveling that direction. So we're going to go north and then 25 degrees east. So I went 10, 25 degrees in the middle mark, and I'm going to draw that in. I'm going to draw that in 12 centimeters might be too big, but I could always half it so it fits. So I'm going to draw this 12 centimeters, but 12 centimeters is kind of off my paper. So what I'll do is I'll scale it down. I'm going to scale it. I'll draw it 6 and call it 12, okay? I'm going to draw it 6. Yeah. There's ship A. Oh, there's like 30 questions. So what I did is my ruler wouldn't fit on 12 way up there. So I just drew it 6 and called it 12. You get that? So please have this sitting here. And I'll draw it 4 and I'll call it 8, okay? Right?
If I just draw like a random line, can I just put
Sure.
next to it so you know what it is?
Yep, some kids have done that. They say, hey, I just really want to make this to scale, and to scale is fine. Okay? All right, now, what about ship B? What do we know about ship B?
Oh, ship B.
Going south, right? So it's going south, and then it's going to rotate which way?
To the left.
Right? That way, about 40 degrees, right? So let's see if we can draw that in, okay?
Right?
You probably don't need to, yeah. So I'm going to go my protractor, right? So I'm looking south. Here's my south. And let's go 40 degrees, right? So I get 10, 20, 30, 40. So ship B is actually heading that direction, right? Okay, so I want to draw that 8, but I already halved my scale. And Fernando, if you just want to draw them to scale, you got enough room, go ahead, right? So ship B is going to go
Quattro.
C. Quattro is correct. So I halved my scale. There's ship B, okay? So both ships are taking off. One ship's a little faster than the other. This one's 12 nautical miles. This one's 8 nautical miles per hour. Even though I drew it 4, it's 8, correct? Thumbs up. Does everybody have this picture? Well, again, our goal is to make a triangle, right? So let's see, what do we know? We know this angle here, right? What's this angle here? What's this angle here? What's this angle here? Know this angle. What's this angle here? Come on, what's this angle here? Yeah, 25. Good. What's this angle here?
40.
Let's put it in. Let's make sure we label, okay? 25 and 40. Okay?
Always with the one. You get the way you go.
Okay. Now, I also know, boys, stop talking. I also know this. There's a right angle between, Alonzo. So I also need more angles. So I can find this angle too. This angle's got to be 65. Why do I know that angle's 65 right there? Why is that angle 65?
Makes it 90.
Perfect. Say it again. Get it? Say it again.
Makes it 90.
90 degrees, right? 65, and this angle's got to be what? Right? You guys agree? So let's put those in. Good job, Braden. So we're going to put our 65 and our 50. Okay, now I know this full angle here. That's a 50, sorry guys. 115 degrees, right? My goal is to find out how far apart they are, so let me draw that in. So what I'm really looking for is I want this length. Okay, I want that length. Let's just call that C. How's that? You guys okay with that? That's what I want to find. I got a triangle. Except for
Oh, that's going to be.
they're going for 3 hours. So after 3 hours, this ship's going more than 12, isn't it? 3 hours? How far is this ship going after 3 hours?
13.
12, another 12, another 12.
36.
Right. So I don't want to redraw it. I'm just going to call it 36. You okay with that? The same thing here. This one's going to go 8, 8, 8. So how far is this one going to go? Yeah. So let's change it. We went 3 hours. So let's scale our drawing. Okay. So we've got 3 hours. So I'm going to make this be 36, 24. Okay. Now let's go, Alonzo. Let's go to our board. What do I know? What do I know? Here's my triangle. Here's my triangle, right? What do I know? What do I know?
It all comes up to what?
What do I know? Come on, look at the board. What do I know?
A side.
I know a side.
Oh, that's a triangle. Oh, you know your, a side.
We know a side angle side. So we look at our board. If we know a side angle side, we're going to use a lot of cosines, right? You want me to highlight the triangle so you see the triangle we have? I will. So the triangle we have, let's make it in pink. That's the triangle. You guys see it? So I do have side angle side. So I'm going to go opposite squared, C squared, is equal to adjacent squared, 36 squared, plus the other adjacent squared, 24 squared, minus 2, because that's in the formula, times adjacent, times the other adjacent, times the cosine of 115 degrees. All right? I can do this. So I'm going to go into my mode, make sure I'm in degree mode, which I'm pretty sure I am. And we'll go 36 squared plus 24 squared. Subtract 2 times 36 times 24 times the cosine, 115. Okay. But that answer can't be right. That answer can't be right. C squared equals 2,602.28. What am I going to do? Square root, right? Because that's like way far away, right? Square root, square root. And I can answer about 51 nautical miles. That seems reasonable. Could you do that next week?
Yeah, there you do that.
We're going to practice. We're going to practice. Okay, you ready to turn the page? I'll wait for you. We'll turn the page. Okay, now. So, right. So I agree. What we need, yes, we need a triangle. I totally agree. And Fernando's right. We're going to make a new triangle. I think you can either split it here or here. It does not matter. I'm probably going to split it here, okay?
Wait.
So I'm going to cut it right here. Because I need triangles, you're right.
Are we cutting two answers or are we gonna?
So that's a really good question. So I did not cut it in half. Okay, so first of all, okay, I did not cut it in half. You guys agree? In fact, even more importantly, this angle here does not equal that. That looks little, and that looks big. This is not 65, 65. You can see that. You guys agree?
Yeah.
So, all right, we want to find the area. We have an area formed, right? Let's tackle one triangle at a time. So let's look at triangle 1. So triangle 1 area is 1/2. So what is the formula? 1/2 what? What's it say on the board? 1/2, the formula's on the board, right over there. Adjacent, which would be a 28, times what? What else does it say? Times the other adjacent, which would be my 25, times sine of what? The angle, right? 110. All right, that's easy. I can get that. Okay, so clear. 1/2 times 28 times 25 times the sine, 110, and I get an answer of, about 328.9, okay? And I'm going to circle that answer because I want to come back to it, okay? Because I want triangle 2, okay? Okay, that was pretty good. Now, triangle 2, same formula, right? But I get adjacent 1. I do not know adjacent 2, and I do not know the angle. But I can figure it out.
We've done this in
I can figure it out. I can probably find this side, this adjacent,
Oh yeah, you can definitely find it.
because I got a side and side, right?
Yeah.
So let's ignore this one for a second. Let's get this side. Then call this C. Okay. C, and it is opposite, yeah. So I'm going to go and find C by opposite squared equals adjacent squared plus the other adjacent squared minus 2 times the adjacent times the other adjacent times the cosine 110, right? You guys agree with the formula I'm using? Because I got side angle side, right? Okay, so let's see here. Let my calculator do the work. 28 squared plus 25 squared. 2 times 28 times 25 cosine 10, and I get, well, that's way too big. That's way too big. 1,887.8. That's way too big. What am I going to do? Square root? Square root? So let's see. C is going to equal about 43.45. Okay. So this is 43.45. Okay. Now, all right. That's my goal. My goal is to get triangle 2, right? So here's what I have. I got adjacent, but I don't have the same. Okay. I got adjacent, but I don't have the same. What I could do is I could find this angle here. Because I can find this angle here. Once I get this angle here, I'll subtract it from 130. You okay with that? Because the whole thing's 130?
Yeah.
So I heard somebody say a lot of signs. Opposites, you guys see opposites?
Mm-hmm.
So let me give this an angle. You guys want to call this one angle A? Let's call this angle A. We'll call this angle B, okay? So, all right, opposites. Sine of A over 25 equals sine of 110 over 43.45, right? Okay, all right, good. Now what? Multiply, good job. Who said that? Good job. Multiply, right? So I'm just going to go my 25 times my sine of 110, close your parentheses, divided by 43.45, and I get a decimal. What am I going to do with that decimal? Sine inverse. So we're going to go sine inverse of my 0.54, blah, blah, blah. I get about 32.7. So angle A is 32.7 degrees. Okay, so let me go back to my picture. And put that in there. 32.7. Okay? All right, we're almost there. So we are so close to being done with this. Okay, so here's what we know. We need adjacent, adjacent, and this angle. We need adjacent, adjacent, and this angle. I don't know angle B yet, but I can get it. Getting angle B is going to be easy. 30 all the way across, 32.7 here. So we just subtract 32.7 from 130 at angle B. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's do that. Angle B then. All right, we're finally doing algebra 2 work. I like this. So angle B would equal 130 degrees, because that's the whole thing, minus 32.7. 32.7. And I get an answer about 97, and so angle B is 97.3 degrees. Okay, let me put that in there. All right, before we forget what we're doing, let's go back to what we're trying to do. Our whole goal is to find the area of the whole thing. Our goal is to find the area. I know the area of this one. I can now find the area of this one, and then add them together. Does that make sense? I've got adjacent, adjacent, and I got the angle. Got it. So let's use the formula. Okay. So we'll go. All right, I can do this. Triangle 2, area of triangle 2. Triangle 2 is equal to 1/2 my adjacent times my other adjacent times the sine of my angle, 97.3. I can use my calculator. So 0.5 times 20 times 43.45 times the sine, 97.3. And I get about 431. I'll just round it 431. Okay, I'm going to circle that. Because I'm almost done. Okay, now, what do you think? Now it's easy stuff. What do you think? I got to find the area of the whole thing. What am I going to do?
Add 1.
Add them. Triangle 1 plus triangle 2. You guys agree? And we'll get the entire figure. So finally, my answer, my total, is to go triangle 1 plus triangle 2, which is my 328.9 plus my 431. So I'm going to go 328.9 plus, and I get an answer about 759.9. What's my units? Centimeters. So centimeters squared. Okay, now I only have 2 questions for you for homework, just like this, all right? And I want you to get started on it because you're going to need to do this. We're lucky we have extra help today, so if you need help, you can ask me. But you need to do this, okay? You need to do this. Practice, practice, practice. You need to do this, okay? You get this done. Okay, we need to practice this. This is it. This is the homework. It's just this sheet right here. It's exactly what we did. We all different numbers, right?
So it's exactly the same.
It's very copy, right? Yeah. All right, everybody get one? Okay. So. Do you have your pass?
You have a
Yeah.
Extra crit.
Lonzo, you can go. I'll mark your pass, okay?
Okay, cool.
You can go. I'll just mark your pass, okay?
Alright.
Dude, that's gonna end up saving what?
It's gonna help, right? It'll help. 5 points will help, right? That's 5 questions you're gonna get right on the final, huh? And I think I'm still recording, aren't I? I need to